We just finished the landscape lesson in the photography class, and we referenced the importance of the horizon in landscape photos. And we did talk about how the horizon should be on the rule of thirds. And in this photo, the horizon is generally where the sky meets the land. Of course, the sky meets the land at the top of this mountain here, so really the true horizon in this photo is right along this edge where the field meets the people, and you see the line there. And if I go in here, I love getting this custom shape tool, and you'll find it, already have it active. Somewhere down in here is this tool, or is this shape right here, and it says grid. And if you choose that and draw out here, you can actually get a rule of thirds grid to look at your photos. And you can see here it's not bad. I didn't do too bad of a job of putting that on the rule of thirds. And I'm going to go ahead and hit undo and get rid of that. But you can see my horizon is crooked. And so that's what this lesson is going to be about. It's going to be about straightening your photos. And first we're going to straighten it in the file itself. Now I don't know why, but I don't use this tool very often, the straighten tool. One reason is it works best when you use it like this, straight from the original JPEG. And maybe because I'm a digital scrapbooker, I use a lot of other skills that I have, a lot of other methods, because I mostly straighten them in right in my layouts and not for sharing the photos. I would suggest, since this makes permanent changes to the photo, if you do it this way, to do it on a copy of your photo. And that way you have your original photo and then you have your fixed photo. So make a copy of your photo first and then open that up in Photoshop Elements. And this tool is really easy to use. I'm just going to click down right here on the horizon and hold my mouse and drag all the way over, and then let go of my mouse. Do you want to make this background a layer? Yes, see, this is because this is locked, and so they're actually going to unlock it for me before they straighten it. And so you can see what it's done. Now you can see there's some transparency around the photo that we'll have to fix. Now I could get my clone tool probably in this case and easily clone in some areas. Not all photos are going to be easy to do that, but the quickest option to fix this is to get your crop tool, and this is the only time I would ever use the crop tool. And crop down. Oh goodness. Crop down well, I'm going to have to hold my shift key, it appears. I've lost my crop. And well, there we go. I guess the shift key's not going to allow me to keep it straight. But I'm going to move this so that I think I sneezed and it threw me all off, so that it, reaches to, see, I have to move it right to the edge of this one and right to the edge of that one, and so you see I'm going to lose a lot of stuff outside of this crop in order to get rid of all of those transparent areas. And that is one reason why I do recommend not being lazy when you're taking photos where the horizon is important, because a lot of times I'm really lazy in taking photos because I just think, I can fix it later in Photoshop Elements. It won't matter. Just get the shot, snap, 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 snap. The more I get, the more chances I'll get a good photo. But in this case, you do lose information. When you fix it. So don't be lazy when you're taking photos that matter with horizons. Now I do want to show you, this is Photoshop Elements 10, and in this version it's the first time that you do have the rule of thirds lines in the crop tool. So that's a great new addition to this, because I can see right now, if I have it cropped this way, that my rule of thirds line is a little high on my photo. It's not quite on my horizon. And I do have some white sky up here that's not that important. So I can drag this down till that's right there on the rule of thirds line. And now it's going to be a much more pleasing crop, and there we have it. Now I would either do a save as or a save or whatever I need to do for this photo. So that is one way to fix it, but I'm going to show you several ways of fixing it also if you're working right in a layout. So we're going to review several methods. I say layout for those people that are digital scrapbookers, but when I teach classes for fixing photos, I always recommend bringing your photos into a working file. So this would be our working file. The reason I tell them to do that, tell students to do that, is because we don't want to accidentally make permanent changes to that original photo. So if you do it in a working file and then do a save as, it's just a safety net, so that your original photos don't get messed up. And so we have it here in this, and I want to show you. This is the default settings, and if I were to grab this and rotate it like that, you're going to see it rotates all layers, and even the background is now got that transparent area. So I'm going to hit undo, and what I want to do, see, this has a crop to original size, crop to remove background, or grow or shrink canvas to fit. I never play with this tool, because I tend to make my changes another way, which I'm going to show you later, and so you might want to play with these to see what they do. Well, let's just go back and do it. Recently edited. Let's bring this one in and see what happens when it was cropped to original size. Let's try crop to remove background. Oh, well, there, it cropped it for us. But now our rule, since we didn't do the manual cropping, we didn't get to use that handy new rule of thirds in the crop tool. But that's really cool. That's nice that it does that. Let's try grow or shrink canvas to fit. Let's see what it does now. And so there's what it did with that one. I kind of like that second option. And so, but if you uncheck this rotate all layers, now that we're back into our working file, and make sure you're on the correct layer, and you do this with the tool, then it's just going to rotate this layer only and leave the rest of it. So that can be useful when you're in your scrapbooking mode or in your working file. But for some reason, what I tend to do, I like it because it's less permanent. When I'm in my layouts, I make a square or rectangle template. And so in order to do that, all I need to do is duplicate this. Of course, if you've taken other lessons in Photoshop in my class at HW, you know there are many ways to do one thing. Of course, we can drag down to the new layer icon to duplicate it, or we could just hit Control J on our computer and it duplicates it. Those are the two most common ways I duplicate. And now I have two of that photo, and what I can do is use this one as my template and use this one as my image and hit Control G on my keyboard to group them. And then I can take this top photo, as long as my move tool is activated, and just turn it and resize it as needed until I get it right in there. And if I don't get it quite right, I can choose to kind of move it around up and down however I want. The rule of thirds, moving it to, let's move it rule of thirds. And if I can't quite get it, see, now I think I'm too high on this side. If I can't quite get it by eyeing it, I can go up here to my view. Which one am I in? Yeah, view drop down menu and choose grid, and now I have some lines, and I can go right out here and observe the lines and put it right on the line to get it really straight. Or if I don't want to use the grid, I can actually use the rulers. And now the earlier versions of Photoshop Elements, the rulers don't work as well. I think it was 7 maybe that they came out with better rulers, and so if I want, I can now create a new ruler. I've forgotten how to do this. A new guide, and I want it horizontal and 50%, let's say. Of course, I can move the guide once I get it out there, and I can just move this guide down, and using these guides and the ruler, I don't even think we need the ruler, do we? I can get rid of the ruler. I just need a guide, and that's easier to do than the grid, because the grid has so many lines in it. And so now I can actually really see whether or not, it's not fixed here yet, and really take my time to turn this so it's even on this side. Nope, it's not quite so even there. And get it, I must have hills and get it just right. I must have an uneven land, the dirt, extra dirt on one side than the other, and so get it just about right that way using the guides, and constantly fix it or edit it. And if I needed to, I could go get that shape tool and draw it in here and say, okay, I'm not quite on the horizon, and raise and lower my image, and there we go. I'm just such a manual person. I would probably take the hard way out and do all this stuff to get it just the way I wanted for my layout. But you do what is best for you. To get rid of this guide, you just hold down on it with your mouse and flick it up, and it's gone. So However you want to straighten your photos, that's great. If you're in a working file, then you would crop it down and do a save as. You can see I got that right on the rule of thirds line. Or if it's in your layout, just go ahead and work the rest of your layout. But for this lesson, I want you to straighten your photos, and I want to have you show me a before and an after. If you have a photo that's vertical and you're straightening it because the edge of the building is crooked or something like that, where we can easily see it being fixed, you're welcome to do that. If it's a different kind of landscape photo than this one, just let us see that you are able to straighten photos. It's a pretty easy lesson, but hopefully maybe you learned a little bit by watching me rambling on.